He comes here for a conference. He's meeting with the officials at the NSA, and he tries to have sex with a minor in Vegas because he can. That is why we have a relationship with Israel that we do. That's why they are our greatest ally, because they create such good tech. Yeah, to spy on us and to blackmail us. That's what that tech is about, people.
Candace Owens recently exposed how Israel continues to betray America, this time in relation to the debacle that just happened in Las Vegas, where you had an individual that was arrested for trying to solicitate sex from a minor, just released. Why? Because he happened to be from the government of our greatest ally in the Middle East, Israel. Because he was a high-ranking cyber official, he was sent back, essentially no questions asked. Let's get her take on this and just wait until you hear what our DOJ was busy doing while this happened. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Update for you. A little bit surprising. I don't know why the media left this out yesterday. They had access clearly to the charging document of that Israeli cyber official that works under Bibi Netanyahu, Bibi Netanyahu's government. Remember, I told you about this yesterday. He was only in Las Vegas for a conference, and he decided that he just had to try to have sex with the minor. And he got swept up, and the police arrested 8 individuals. He was one of them. Oh, but I'm an Israeli. The rules don't apply. We kind of run-ish here. Well, guess what? It turns out that he told, in his charging document, he told the Henderson police in Nevada that he had just met with NSA officials. Okay, so there is now a recorded interview with, and by the way, his name is Tom Artyom Alexandrovic, and there's now a recorded interview in which he tells them that he took a meeting with the NSA, that he had a meeting with the NSA, that he had another meeting with the NSA that was supposed to happen the following day after his arrest, and that he had already met with several borough people and NSA people throughout the past week. So, yeah. Could you just imagine that? I think our DOJ came out and made a statement like, we had nothing to do with him fleeing back to Israel. You were taking meetings with this guy. Could you imagine the courage that it takes, the absolute audacity, not courage, the audacity, the level of, I have no respect for your country, or rather no fear for your country, because we know we're in control, especially when you get to talking about cyber officials in Israel. They're always like, oh, they help us, the Israeli tech. The Israeli tech is leading the day. That is why we have a relationship with Israel that we do. That's why they are our greatest ally, because they create such good tech.
Yeah, this was the guy creating good tech, the guy that our DOJ, after talking to him, he talked to the FBI, by the way. So Candace Owens, if anything, is underselling this. He talked to both the NSA and the FBI, in addition to Las Vegas police, before he was allowed to board that plane and fly right back to Israel. Essentially, no questions asked. This is criminal. They should have revoked his passport day one, apprehended him, and dragged him away in handcuffs. But no, why not? Because he's a high-ranking official, a cybersecurity official in Netanyahu's government. Remember, our most valuable and closest ally in the Middle East. Are you guys paying attention to this? Are Americans going to wake up to this at any point?
Yeah, to spy on us and to blackmail us. That's what that tech is about, people. And so imagine his audacity. He comes here for a conference. He's meeting with the officials at the NSA, and he tries to have sex with a minor in Vegas because he can. Why not? Yeah. He was trying to lure a minor to go see a show in Vegas. Absolutely disgusting. And doesn't matter. He's back in Israel. And certainly they're not going to give us, Trump admin is not going to give us a statement about that. They are busy. Pam Bondi especially is busy. Remember, she had to give a same-day response when a college kid, a college male who should never take himself seriously and should be made fun of for the rest of his life for calling the feds and recording a tiff that he had with another student on campus. Like, that's the state of manhood in America right now.
Yeah, and that's worth more focus than this child sex sting that went on in Vegas that we need to pay attention to, right? The threat of anti-Semitism, not the actual sex offenders that were soliciting services from an underage girl. This is horrifying. And guess what? Our closest ally in the Middle East is not going to extradite this guy back. They're not. I can almost guarantee it. And she's right. Candace is right. The Trump administration isn't exactly going to make a statement about this either, by the way. And What do you know? The mainstream legacy corporate media, whatever you want to call those idiots out there, they're not covering the story. Why? It shouldn't be shocking to anyone. It involves an official in the Israeli government. So for all the talk about how they're their closest ally, they sure don't seem to act like it when it comes to extraditing child predators and sexual predators. Not at all.
That you have a 20-year-old kid who decides to put on an IDF shirt to go to the gym on a college campus because they're not committing a genocide. It's literally like saying F you to everyone on the campus. I don't care. And a girl had words for him, and he decided to whip out his phone because that's so manly. I'm going to record the girl saying words to me. And then she shoves him. Remember that? Remember that incident? That terrible incident? The greatest. It was the worst incident of anti-Semitism, right? This kid suffered so badly, but the feds got involved immediately. Pam Bondi gave a statement, right? Swooped right on in there. Thank you, Press McCullough, she said, for your leadership and prompt action. Anti-Semitism will not be tolerated in Florida or anywhere else. And then she tags everyone for having defeated the shove. But I hope that he's okay. They even said they were going to provide therapy to students on campus because this shove was so traumatizing.
Yeah, just think of that and how much the populist right, made fun of the left for talking about safe spaces on campus and doing away with that nonsense only to create their own carve-outs when it comes to this campaign against anti-Semitism when there are already laws on the books against harassment and maltreatment, assaults and things like that. But this is the focus. That was just 2 weeks ago, that story she just displayed. That got an instant reaction from Pam Bondi. This is their priority. This is the Israel first mentality. But this child predator in Las Vegas, part of Israel's government, that was sent back without any kind of statement whatsoever, it really shows where the priorities of this administration lies. And it's not just this administration. This is kind of a bipartisan phenomenon because of the Israel lobby's power here. But nonetheless, it is worth talking about. There was, and Candace is totally right, a complete difference in responses between these two incidences. And, this is embarrassing for them because the independent media is reporting on this, and it's going to put more egg on the face of this administration, which is already proven to be duplicitous and corrupt.
Like, why can't I just wear genocidal t-shirts? I don't understand. Go to the gym. Oh my God, we're watching it again. Viewer discretion advised. She puts the middle finger up. And by the way, when he posts it, he writes wheezing, which means laughing. And then, that's great. Feds got involved. And that girl has been off campus since. I'm just wondering if the feds could have swooped in that quickly when someone tried to have sex with a minor in Vegas while they were taking meetings with the feds.
Yeah.
And the answer is no. That's why he's back in Israel. Just letting you guys know. The answer is obviously no. They can't do that. That's not their job. Their job is to fight words, not acts. Mean words is what they've got to take care of now. Make sure the students are feeling extra safe in their spaces on college campuses.
Yeah, mean words. The mean words police is what the right has been reduced to now after making fun of the liberal establishment for doing that on college campuses back in the past. I thought we were beyond wokeness now, right? Wokeness died when Trump got elected, but no, not at all. Wokeness is still alive. It's just harnessed and directed in a different way under this crusade against anti-Semitism and mean words. And it's no different than the left's quest to do away with racism and sexism by just calling everyone that disagreed with it racist and sexist. This is the same way in the opposite direction. So Candace is totally right now here. And is the Trump administration going to fire back at the Israeli regime for this? Or maybe say the genocide in Gaza? No, I don't think they are. Is Trump going to use any leverage to say, hey, Netanyahu, you sure as hell better extradite this villain back to the United States to face justice in Las Vegas because of what he tried to do? Is he going to try to do that? No. Is he going to cover it up? Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that he is, and it's because of the influence of the Israel lobby, not only on Trump, but on this government itself, our elected representatives, the deep state, and the mainstream media, which, again, aren't covering this story very much at all, if anything. it takes the independent media to bring these stories to light. I'm really glad Candace Owens has done that. Sagar and Jetty from Breaking Points is doing that. People like Glenn Greenwald are all over this story. Caitlin Johnstone, and I'm so glad that they are, because this would be ignored. This is this kind of story that would just be totally swept under the rug 10 years ago, but they can't do it anymore because they're losing control of the information. That's one of the most uplifting things to me, one of the things that gives me the most hope. And it's not a result of the political climate, it's a result of the cultural climate and the rise of a media dissemination that happens without the filters of the three major networks or three major newspapers or whatever else the trash media was prior to the ascension of this new media, which is killing the legacy media. And it's a beautiful sight to see. And it is beautiful to see people talking about this sort of thing, but it is, absurd. It's insulting. And she is right to say it takes audacity, not courage, to do this sort of thing and just allow him to get away with it. I mean, like I said, it's not just the NSA, like she was talking about, that he met with in addition to the Las Vegas police. It was also the FBI. And they're just going to let him go. They're not going to revoke his passport. They're not going to drag him off the airplane, take him to jail, slam the door, lock it with 2 locks, and push charges against him. Why? He's an Israeli official. And that's just how the things go. Our greatest ally in the Middle East, a beacon of democracy. They would never do anything against our interests, except for, I don't know, fund a genocide on our bankroll and let sexual predators flee to it, unmolested. So that's where we're at. Let me know if you agree down below. Do you think that this will reach a lot of Americans and turn their minds away from supporting Israel? What do you think are the ramifications of this? Is the Trump administration just going to continue to ignore it? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, also subscribe to Candace. Thank you for covering this, Candace. And please consider becoming a YouTube member. If you click the join button below, you can help support the channel. And I will give you access to all my videos before they go live on YouTube if you do that. So thank you very much. And until I see you guys next time, no more war, no more debt, no more inflation, and no more empire. Peace out, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.